Alright guys, today I want to talk about something that I personally use a lot in my training, and that's robots. Now, since I can't go to the club every day, or maybe some days people can't practice the times I can, I end up using my robot a lot to make sure I'm still getting my hours in. And so I have a lot of experience, and I've kind of learned a lot of what works and what doesn't work. And today I want to talk about the top 5 ways you can utilize your robot to get the most effective and most powerful practice you can when you're spending time training with this practice tool. Let's hop into it. Number 5 on our list, the first thing is serving. Now, serving is grossly underappreciated when it comes to what we practice. And having a robot isn't a necessity for when we serve, but it is a nice little quality of life thing. When you go serve without a robot, you gotta go pick up the balls, you gotta grab a bucket or a basket, whatever it is, and have them by you and serve them, whatever. When you have a robot, you just hit a button, you hit a serve, the net collection system collects it, and it shoots it right back at you. So number 5 is serving. All right, number 4 is consistency drills. The name of the game is consistency here. Now, a robot is extremely good at, almost to a fault, shooting one very consistent, very similar ball. This means you can utilize this by practicing and refining one stroke or one little aspect like timing or other things. Recently, my backhand has needed some work, so I've just set the robot to underspin, shoot it to my backhand. I'll do some backhand openers, or at the beginning of my practices, I like to do this, and I'll just set the robot to go to my forehand, and I'll just hit as many forehand drives as I can. And then once I'm tired of the drives, I'll move to looping and just hit as many loops as I can. And it's little things like that that builds your foundation, makes you a better table tennis player, and it will show up in your matches and your practice in the hall, and it will show up in your rating. So number 4 is consistency drill. All right, number 3, basic transition drills. Now this is another foundational skill that the robot can help you refine and get better at. And when I say basic transitions, there's really 2 things I mean. The first way is transitioning on the ball that you are given. So you have to transition from forehand to backhand, or you have to transition from one spin to a different spin. Whatever it is, your robot can help you do this. One of the most basic and fundamental transitions you can work on is just forehand to backhand. And this can be top spin. You can do loops, you can do drives, you can do opening loops, so you're looping underspin, you can do pushes, whatever it is. This is a foundational skill. If you work on this, this will allow you to strengthen your foundation and will make sure your rating keeps going up for longer. Now, the second type of transition is transitioning the ball that you're giving. So that means changing the spin, speed, and placement of your ball. And you can do that by just hitting 2 drives and then a loop, or maybe you want to hit like a hard kill loop followed by a spinning loop. If you do this is more of an advanced skill, but if you practice this, you'll be steps ahead of other people who don't practice it and who don't spend the time. All right, section 2 is precision drills. Now this is something that the robot can help you get very good at, that not a lot of people spend a lot of time practicing. What I mean by precision and placement is where you place your ball. And I kind of talked about it a little bit in the last section, but now I want to talk about it a little bit more. If you work on placing the ball, whether it's just hitting like 2 cross court and then 1 down the line, or 1 cross court, 1 down the line, or maybe even a little bit more specific in one quadrant of the table, hitting 2 right to their backhand and 1 out wide, or 2 right to their backhand and 1 to the crossover line or the middle. That type of thing will give you more control over your shots. It will allow you to have more tools in your repertoire that you can use and abuse when you're trying to find somebody's weakness. And overall, it will make you a better player, especially when you're comparing yourself to the people who don't practice that kind of thing. Being able to control the ball will make sure you're winning every single match you can. All right, on to the next one. The last and final thing, the number 1 thing the robot does well, is footwork. Now, when it comes to RoboPong robots and a lot of the more common and more advanced robots, They have a lot of pre-programmed drills, and you can even program your own in there. And if not, you can still like just set the robot to go to 2 places or randomly in between 2 places. Whatever it is, the robot is really good at footwork. The robot is really good at this because it doesn't matter how good you are, you can adjust the robot to your speed and your pace, and you can always push yourself a little bit. It doesn't matter if you picked up a racket yesterday or if you're on the Chinese national team. You can set the robot to go at your speed, and you can use the robot to push yourself. I personally do a lot of footwork on my robot when I'm using my robot, and it has made me faster in all the rallies. So at my level, as soon as I get into a rally, I feel very confident I'm going to win most of them because I practice a lot of footwork, I practice my speed, and in addition to practicing footwork, you also practice stuff like consistency. You can add in precision drills, and a lot of the footwork drills include you doing basic transitions. So you can start by just doing something small like forehand to backhand and just hitting 2 loops from those 2 positions. And you work up to stuff like the Falkenberg, where you hit 1 backhand and then you run around the corner and hit 1 forehand, and then you hit a forehand from the forehand quadrant. So it makes you move around a little bit. It makes you think, it makes you move, it makes you do a little transition. And if you are a little bit more advanced, you can add in that precision aspect where you're trying to place the ball when you hit it. And even when it comes to serving, you can practice the serving while you're practicing this as well. You can hit a serve that you know is going to set up a certain play, and then you can start the robot like it was a rally. Now, footwork essentially combines everything that I previously talked about, and this is the best thing the robot can do. I promise you, if you add this to your regimen, if you add this to your routine, it will show up in the rating, it will show up in your match results, it'll show up at the league, it'll show up in your training. If you work smart and you work hard, it will show up. All right, everybody, thanks for stopping in and watching the video. I really appreciate it. From now on, I'm planning on releasing a video every single Friday, so make sure you check back next Friday. In addition to that, if you can't wait till Friday, you can head over to my website, novicetonoticeable.com, to check out what I do and some of my blog posts. I write table tennis articles. And otherwise, I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll see you guys next Friday. Thank you.